The Tigers going into their second game of the season in what might be their scariest matchup of the entire year. No, not the Tigers against UIC, but top-ranked freshman James Wiseman against the NCAA. Tennessee down by 18 in the second half just to come storming back to force overtime. I know I can make a mean game preview, but this one was kind of out of hand. Take a look at the big screens up here. They're lower for tonight's action. They're getting ready to find out what's going to happen here tonight. Now, there's so much excitement with this pick because it's one of the highest picks the Grizzlies have had in nearly 10 years. We're one day away from the first ever WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational teeing off, which means the golfers, well, they're all here. Johnny Memphis, I like that. As you can imagine, guys, a pretty exciting day here at the Liberty Bowl as Johnny Manziel was officially introduced with the Memphis Express. Coach Penny Hardaway calling the Knights one of the hottest teams in the entire league, and that's a pretty accurate assessment. For White, it's been a long journey to get here. Coming out of high school, he was the 54th ranked player by Rivals.com. But don't worry, I think things are going to go just a little bit differently this time around. The Grizzlies had their eyes set on a guy named Ja Morant out of Murray State. De La Rosa completed her best year yet, scoring 6 goals and had 4 assists. The festivities getting started bright and early tomorrow. The Tiger Walk starts at 8:30, gates open at 9, kickoff is set for 11. With kickboxing, the best way to describe it is, well, it's kind of like it sounds. You can use your feet, you can use your hands. I think when fans see Conley here in this building watching the tribute video, having a box of Kleenex nearby might be a good idea. And Mike, real quick, I want to show you the Tigers uniforms tonight, rocking some fresh threads. They got the black helmets with the blue stripes, the first time they've worn those. They certainly look ready to go. Kickoff is in about 30 minutes. Should be a fun one. Live inside the Liberty Bowl, Megan Rice, News Channel 3 Sports. My, what a sight it was on Beale Street early Saturday morning. 9:01 looking beautiful as ever for College Game Day. Memphis, the epicenter of college football on Saturday, all because of one very important game. The 24th ranked Tigers hosting number 15 and undefeated SMU in a game that will have major implications on the West Division. This game taking place in front of a sold-out crowd at the Liberty Bowl, the first sellout since 2015. People expecting a lot of offense in this one, and the Mustangs striking first as Shane Buechele connects with Kylan Granson. He scores from 16 yards out to make it 7-0. But the Tigers quick to respond, and who other than Kenneth Gainwell? The man is dangerous with the pigskin. 14 yards to the house that ties it up at 7. It was a back-and-forth game in the first half as the Mustangs retake the lead off this Xavier Jones 2-yard rush. Ponies now up 14-10. Then, before the half, Brady White with some tremendous throws on the night, and it doesn't get much prettier than this. Hits Antonio Gibson in stride. Gibson with a monster night, having 3 total touchdowns in the game. Tigers back up 20-14. Then in the third, Tiger offense getting some breathing room. White hits DeMonte Coxie for one of his 2 scores. That made it 40-24, and the Tigers currently leading 54-40 in the fourth quarter. Now let's get back to all that was this morning for College Game Day. The city, Beale Street, and the Tigers looked pretty much flawless as thousands of people packed in to see it. Everybody from Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Coach Penny Hardaway, Mike Norvell, and guest picker Jerry Lawler had some time on the show. To be honest, one of the only things that didn't go the U of M's way this morning, Lee Corso going with the fake-out pick, tossing the Tiger head for the Mustangs. Other than that, you couldn't have drawn it up much better.
Pretty speechless, you know what I mean? It's just
what a scene it was. Ole Miss, fresh off a bye week, getting all healed up before heading to Jordan-Hare to take on number 11 Auburn this evening. John Rice Plumlee ready to go after getting a minor knee procedure done, and the freshman came to play tonight. Uses his speed to bend the edge, and he's in for the score. That cuts the Auburn lead to 10-7. The Rebels, they're hanging in there. In the fourth quarter, Snoop Connor with the 1-yard punch in, and wait a minute, it's a 1-score game. Rebels down 20-14 late in the fourth, trying for the upset, but on 4th down, Plumlee with nowhere to go heaves it up and gets picked off as number 11 Auburn survives, holding on to win 20-14. In Knoxville, Tennessee hosting UAB tonight, and the Vols, they've figured things out here lately, especially on defense. Big hit leads to a fumble, and Aubrey Solomon recovers, setting up the Volunteer offense. Off the turnover, Ty Chandler gets the handoff and scampers into the end zone. That makes it 16-0, Tennessee up. Later, the Vols defense, they're at it again all right. This time, it's Tyler Johnston picking off Bryce Thompson. Tennessee had 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery in the first half alone. Again, UT turning takeaways into points. Juwan Jennings from the Wildcat, he's in from 2 yards out as the Vols go on to get the win 30-7. Chad Morris suspending star tight end Cheyenne O'Grady indefinitely before today's game, so not a good start for the Razorbacks, while Bulldogs running back Kylan Hill was snapping off. Hill with 3 touchdowns and a career-high 234 rushing yards. My goodness, it's 7-zip. Later, Tommy Stevens, he's back and airing it out. Osiris Mitchell, I'll take that 33-yard score. It's 14-zip. To the second quarter we go. Hill obviously with a huge day for Mississippi State, but Rakeem Boyd, well, he can ball too. Finds some space, and he is gone. 52-yard touchdown that cuts it to 17-7. But after that, the Hogs, well, they'd unravel. Ben Hicks picked off by Marcus Murphy, and he's got no one in front of him. Bullies go on to win soundly 54-24, snapping a 4-game losing streak, while the Razorbacks have now lost 6 in a row. The busy day in Memphis continuing this evening over at FedEx Forum as the Grizzlies hosted Devin Booker and the Suns. The 2 young stars, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, they say they got a good connection. Well, it was showing out tonight. Morant lobbing it up to his buddy as Triple J gets the easy finish. Later, off a Brandon Clark steal, you get a Brandon Clark jam. Clark with a double-double off the bench, going for 16 and 11. Later, Ja Morant starting to heat up in the second half as he pulls up and hits the triple to make it a 2-point game. But the Suns, they would go on to outscore the Grizzlies by 15 in the third quarter as Booker hits from deep. He had 21. Morant doing all he can, finishing with a big 2-handed yam. He led all scorers with 24 points and 7 assists. But the Suns go on to win 114-105. The Titans looking to make it 3 straight wins as they play at Carolina tomorrow at noon on News Channel 3. Ryan Tannehill coming off a 3-touchdown game against the Buccaneers last week. Tomorrow, Tannehill in the offense will be facing one of the best defensive players in the league in linebacker Luke Kuechly.
He's a good all-around player, man.
That's going to do it for sports. More News Channel 3 after this. I woke up today knowing the Tigers had a road game at South Florida. Also knowing it's Groundhog Day. And honestly, it's too easy. This story pretty much writing itself as the Tigers on the road keep pulling a Bill Murray. They are literally living the same road game over again and again. But this one was probably the most dramatic flick of all the away games. Tigers, not just a slow start here. We're talking a nightmare of a first half. David Collins, the dunk. And the Tigers trailed 19-0 to start, followed by a 27-1 deficit. At the half, it was 38-13. Yeah, Penny desperately trying to erase that half. We go to the second, where Jeremiah Martin goes berserk, drains the triple to make it 48-31. Martin had 0 points at the break, then goes on to drain 7 threes in the second half as the lead is cut to 82-76. Martin finishing with a career-high 41 points, the first Tigers score 40 or more since 1997. But it wasn't enough to bring back the Tigers after that terrible start as USF holds on to win 84-78.
I'm with you, Coach Thompson.
Never experienced that.
The #1 Tennessee Volunteers taking a 15-game winning streak on the road to Texas A&M tonight. And you'll notice a theme early in these highlights. Jordan Bone was dishing it tonight, right on cue. In transition, Bone hitting up Admiral Schofield. He gets the finish. The Vols take a 46-34 lead. To the second half we go. Another good look, this time to Grant Williams in the post. Williams finished with a game-high 22 as the Vols go up by 7. Tennessee really picking it up late in the game. This one was kind of close, but not for long. Lamonte Turner raining in a triple. Vols lead up to 11. Bone ended up finishing with a double-double, 18 points and 10 assists as he hits Kyle Alexander for the flush. And the Volunteers go on to win 93-76, making it 16 straight wins, their longest streak in program history. Sticking with college basketball, Ole Miss hosting their in-state rivals and 22nd ranked Mississippi State tonight. The Rebels have lost 4 of their last 5 games, but have never fallen to the Bulldogs. at the Pavilion. Not to mention, Ole Miss stole a win in Starkville back in January. These teams just exchanging haymakers all day. Bree and Tyree with the 3 ball as Ole Miss rolls off a 13-0 run. Rebels led 43-29 at the break in the second half. South Haven star Terrence Davis working off the turnover, scoring 2 of his 15 in the game as Ole Miss leads 52-49, but the Bulldogs freshman Reggie Perry was a handful in this one, stepping out and hits the triple, giving the Bulldogs a 62-60 lead. Quindary Witherspoon continues to dominate in the SEC, working the post, misses the first, but gets the putback. He had a game-high 27. Dogs up 4. Now, you know Tyree wasn't going to go down without a fight. Cashes in for 3. He had 5 triples in the game and 25 points. That ties the game at 73 with under 4 to play. But the freshman Perry, playing with poise, knocks down another dagger. Perry setting a new career high. He had 21 points and 11 rebounds as Mississippi State gets their first win in Oxford in 8 years, 81-75, the final.
How does confidence ever affect effort?
We are just one day away from Super Bowl 53 as former Tiger Stephen Gostkowski and the New England Patriots take on the Los Angeles Rams, a game that can be seen right here on News Channel 3. Now, the showdown in Atlanta will be a classic new school against old school. Take Jared Goff, for example. The #1 overall pick in 2016 was just 7 years old when, yeah, that guy won his first Super Bowl back in 2002. Tommy Terrific, on the other hand, looking to win the same number of rings as the round he was drafted in, 6.
My first few years, we were.
Speaking of the NFL, former Tiger Isaac Bruce unfortunately missed out on a Hall of Fame induction again this year. Bruce played with the Tigers in 1992 and 93 and went on to be a Super Bowl champion in the NFL and a 4-time Pro Bowl receiver. Here's a look at some of the 8 Hall of Fame inductees: tight end Tony Gonzalez, safety Ed Reed, and cornerbacks Champ Bailey and Ty Long. That's going to do it for sports. More News Channel 3 after this.
They call him the Body Snatcher for his devastating shots to the body. Omari Boyd is the top-ranked kickboxer in the United States and the 8th in the world.
My will is unlike any fighter. I mean, I won't stop. I mean, if my hand breaks in the fight, if my jaw break or anything, if I can still walk and hold my hands up, I won't stop fighting. I won't stop coming at you.
Now, there's tons of variations of fighting, but with kickboxing, the best way to describe it is, well, it's kind of like it sounds. You can use your feet, you can use your hands, and you can use your knees. But another rule is there are no takedowns.
They don't want you grabbing, they just want constant action. All of the body is fair game for, you know, your hand, feet, and knees.
In the ring, he is relentless, determined, and undefeated in the world's premier kickboxing league, Glory. But outside the ring,
I work at Meyer Utility Structure here in Memphis, about 20 minutes away. We just design steel structures.
That's right. When he's not snatching bodies, he is a family man, instructor, inspirational speaker, and civil engineer.
My coworkers, they call me the uncivil engineer. So yeah, they watch my fights. You know, they really trip off of me, but they talk lightly around me.
You have to be driven to be a kickboxer. While it's popular in Europe, it hasn't caught fire yet in the United States. Boyd's the top kickboxer in the country, and he's unsponsored, still working a 9-to-5 job. He does this because it's what he loves. It's his passion.
I want to be remembered forever. You know, it could be on a small scale, on a large scale. I know everyone I fight, every single person, they're going to remember me for the rest of their life, you know, and until they die. They may tell their kids about me, you know, I fought Omari Boyd, you know, so I'll be remembered for the rest of my life. I have kids, you know, my legacy will live forever, so that's why I do it.
In Memphis, Megan Rice, News Channel 3 Sports.
Yeah, Mike, we're just a couple days out from Thursday's first round of the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And today, a big wave of golfers coming in to hit the driving range and the practice greens. Now, we knew this day was coming, but to actually see these golfers here in Memphis at TPC Southwind, pretty unbelievable.
From Phil Mickelson, Jason Day, Jordan Spieth to last year's winner in Memphis, Dustin Johnson, everywhere you looked was a top-name golfer. Today, only increased fans' excitement in the 901. But it's not just the city who's pumped. These players are too.
Yeah, I always love coming back to Memphis. It's a golf course that I've had a lot of success on. Obviously, it's great to see it now be a WGC. I think that's, it's great for FedEx. It's great for this town, and yeah, I'm excited to be back here playing, as a World Golf Championship.
While there are a lot of new faces to Southwind, like 2017 FedEx Cup champion Justin Thomas.
I'm excited to go get some barbecue at some point. We'll see if we can find some good spots, but I know it's going to be an enjoyable week.
There are also some who are just happy to return after years away.
I'm so excited to be back. I've missed being here. It's been a couple years since I've played, and I love the course. TPC Southwind is a fantastic golf course. It was fun to get back out, play a practice round, kind of refresh myself with some of the holes, and it's a fun golf course, and challenging as well. It's really a good setup.
I miss this place. I haven't played it in 9 years. I was 16, but I love it. It's just at a really tough time in the schedule. It has been in the past before the U.S. Open and after my hometown events. So I'm really pumped to be here personally.
And Mike, a really cool moment that happened earlier today that I just have to mention. Justin Thomas received custom designed golf shoes by former St. Jude patient and 14-year-old Bailey. Today he received those shoes from a FedEx bot named Rock. So it was really awesome to see. And Thomas says he plans on wearing those shoes for all 4 days of the tournament.